Get yourself settled so that you're feeling comfortable. Take a couple of deep breaths. Move your body around a little bit if you like. We're doing a relaxation practice, but it's also a practice around opening ourselves to that possibility that deep healing can be ours as well. We can really experience a transformation in our body, our breath, our mind, our whole system. So notice what comes up. What comes up when you hear those words or when you say them to yourself? Healing is possible. I could experience a life free of the effects of trauma from earlier in my life. I could be connected and whole, happy. And as we go through the practice, we'll touch back into that. But right now, what very likely came up was some form of rebuttal. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe I could go a little ways, but it seems that it can be kind of difficult for us to even imagine being completely healed. And then, of course, we have all of those like ideas about what that would be. Does completely healed mean I'm never reactive to anything? Probably not. Completely healed might be that we have a wide window of tolerance. And when something comes up, that we're able to work with it very effectively, that it doesn't take us down for days or weeks or months. We experience all of the same things that all other human beings experience. It's just that we have this real foundation of stability. Our nervous system has become more resilient, calmer. We don't any longer believe the core deficiency stories. So things come in and we can work very effectively with them. And then they flow through and they're gone. So take a moment to visualize that for yourself. You could start with the body, even as you're sitting or lying down here. A healed body is a relaxed body. So the shoulders that used to be like cement blocks, like mine used to be, are now relaxed, or even if they're a bit tight or we have some tension there, as soon as we notice it, we could really let that soften. Just like when we clench our hand into a fist, we know that nothing much is going on in that hand. There's no blood getting through. It's hard on the nerves, it's hard on everything when we are tight like that. So our physical health gets so much better when we're able to relax. So that would be part of it. Our body's relaxed. Our breath would be more of a diaphragmatic, smooth, even breath, the way you were born breathing before all of the things that happened to make you tighten up. So even just now, you might have access to that kind of a breath. Take a deeper breath in and then a longer breath out. And when we're in a state of fear or anxiety or anger, our breathing pattern is so affected. And that really has an impact on our whole body. If we're holding our breath, it's not very healthy for the blood system. Things don't flow through as well. So your body would be relaxed and steady. Your breath would support your health. would be calming, easy, effortless. And when the mind isn't being triggered into fear or anxiety or compulsive thinking, and we've all had that experience of quiet in the mind, even if it doesn't last for very long, what's going on in the mind is pretty settled. Let's work with that just for a moment. What would your mind be like? What would the atmosphere in your mind be once all of the fear and anxiety is gone because it's healed? If there's nothing that we're alarmed about, then there's nothing to think about in terms of catastrophe planning, for instance. We're not worried about anything because we have confidence that we're resilient and strong. Tune into that quiet in the mind. And this isn't a dull kind of a quiet, it's an alive, alert quiet. And there won't be any thoughts like, this is hopeless, I'll never be healed, I'll never change, I'll always be reactive. Those thoughts are just a symptom of the dysfunction of the healing that needs to happen yet. So those will all be gone. Or if something floats through for a moment, you're like, yeah, I don't believe that anymore. I know that's not true. And then we go back to just this quiet mindfulness, observing the body and the breath, observing the mind. And you could even bring in some thoughts about what your life is like after being healed from the trauma that's ruled things and kept us so absorbed in the fear response all these years. Maybe you see yourself going out and enjoying other people's company or spending more time in the forest or working on some art project or whatever that might be for you. Take a moment to really visualize that. And if there are thoughts coming in that are kind of challenging that, those are just fear responses. Those are learned responses. So keep tapping into and turning your attention to what you know. There is a wholeness in all of us that we know is there. And it might be something that's hard to access at times because the fear and the other responses in the body might be louder. And so if you could remember back to a time when you felt that way, it might even be just a few minutes at some point in time. Or you could visualize that your own body, it's strong and steady, grounded, got lots of energy. Your mind is clear and alert. You're stable and steady. It's hard even to remember what it felt like to have a mind that was so compulsive, to have fear that was so pervasive in the body. Because now your experience is one of open and happiness, stability, confidence. You can be authentic with yourself and with other people. There's room for you to be who you are, to express who you are. And not everybody's going to love that or appreciate that. You might get some resistance from people, but that's okay because you're steady enough in your own knowing what you know to be true for yourself. And the fear and the trauma has healed in your body and in your system. It's no longer driving you. So you can tolerate that. Just really present with yourself. And we could have that perspective from this clear, stable mind. We understand the trauma response, and we know that a lot of what we've done in our whole life has been to keep ourselves safe, to try and get a grip on things or control things. We've reacted into fight, flight, freeze a lot of the time. And when we really see that that's what's underlying this, what some people might say laziness, or that's what's underlying when we lash out at someone, or all of these different things that we've done, then kindness and patience and connection would be a natural response. When we really see that we've been traumatized, we've felt disconnected and not valued, we've been afraid. And from this place of knowing your own wholeness, there's room for that to be here too. Be kind and reassuring, comforting. This is not going to be like this forever. We can heal. And then notice your whole body, head to toes. Notice the back of your body. Let yourself really soften through the back of your body. Take several breaths and just let yourself soften and relax with each exhale, letting yourself become more and more relaxed. And visualize yourself as completely healed. Maybe you're outside walking around, enjoying nature, feeling the sun on your face or the breeze. Your body feels comfortable. You have resilience, energy. Your mind is clear and alert, and you have access to your intelligence, to your wisdom, to your knowing. And for a moment, you could, if you want, look at it like it's two blank pages in your mind's eye. And on the one side is the primitive brain and the better be safe than sorry. It's, well, these bad things have happened. I've had years of compulsive thinking. My body is so tight, I can't imagine it would ever be free of fear. What if something happens? I better be ready. So there's that reactivity and that perhaps years and decades of experience of that's being the predominant energy of your life and in your body. And so that's one set of evidence. And then if you look over to the blank page and on that, what do you know to be true in terms of your own healing so far? So if you think back to when you were a child or earlier in your adult years or a few days ago, a few years ago, is it true that you haven't changed at all, that you haven't healed at all? What is the healing that's happened through the years? Maybe your body used to be really tight and in a lot of pain, and now it's less than it used to be. Now you have better days sometimes. Or maybe your mind was always just full of fear. And now it can happen sometimes. It can still be triggered, but it doesn't last as long. You know what to do now. So challenge that thinking of the primitive brain that I'm just going to react and hyperreact and be hypervigilant just in case, because that's actually not serving us very well. What really serves us is that calm, clear mind, a strong, resilient body, and the knowing that we've actually healed a lot of it already. So take a moment to see what comes up on this page. I am already healed. I am whole. I'm patient and kind with the remaining fear or trauma response that could be here, because I know on a very deep level that I'm already healed. And from here, I can work with the rest of that. I can settle my body. I can work with my mind. I can connect and stay connected with what I know in my heart to be true. Let yourself know that in every cell of your body. And then take a couple of deep breaths again, maybe move your body around a little bit. And when you're ready, open your eyes.